Good morning. It is Friday, the 16th of May, and it's been a while. Not that I've done many YouTube videos, but my plan this year for 2025 was to do one YouTube video every month. And so far, I think I've only done two. So this is my third one of the year. And I'm just gonna give you an update, an insight into where I'm at the moment with everything in life and my current fat loss phase. Oh, we made it! I want to give you an update on that, where I'm at, why I'm doing it, and yeah, just the past couple of months. So I have dropped 2 kilos. I have gone straight in on the lower calories for this fat loss phase, mainly because I just want to sort of get in and get out of this. You're not meant to diet all the time. You don't want to be dieting throughout the whole year. And if you are, and you are struggling to get the results you want, it's most probably because you are dieting all the time. You don't need that. So what I have done over the last 10 months, I've gradually been increasing my calories and just focusing on building muscle. And that's been a really, really good place. In fact, you'll find that that is the perfect place. You will be your most energetic and happiest being in that phase of just focusing on lifting weights and having a good amount of calories, because that's the goal really. You want to be able to eat food and not gain weight, and there is a way of doing that, but you do have to get yourself out of a dieting phase and be able to give yourself that time to focus on building muscle. So that's what I've done over the last 10 months. Now, I did want to start a diet phase and get ahead of summer. Back in, it was around beginning of March, and I just found it really tough to mentally do it. Now, I could make up 100 excuses for why I couldn't stick with it, but the main thing was I just wasn't disciplined. I couldn't say no to certain foods. I wanted to socialize. I wanted to eat a lot of Easter eggs because it is my downfall. Chocolate is, honestly, I can't say no to it. So my mindset wasn't in it. I was pretty happy with where I'm at. So I kind of basically quit after 3 weeks of trying, but I am now deep into my calorie deficit and I am fully switched on and I am very motivated to drop body fat ready for summer. So, like I said, I'm 2 kilos down and the plan is to maintain as much muscle and just reduce as much fat as I can. Now, I have about 2 and a bit weeks until my first holiday. So I'm going to Lisbon in Portugal, which I'm really excited because I've never been before. I'm going on my own, but I have a friend out there who I'm going to meet. And if you have any tips on Lisbon, then let me know. Drop me a comment below. And the idea is I'm going to also film whilst I'm out there. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. And I will most probably use that as a diet break and allow myself to just relax a little bit because I'm on holiday. The idea now is that I'm sort of prepping to feel my best, getting into my summer shorts and all my summer clothes that I have and I don't really get to wear in the UK. So it'll be good to feel good in those and just have a bit of time out away from normal life, routine, and enjoy a bit of sun, food, and yeah, just be on holiday and travel a bit. So I'm going to show you a little bit about my daily routine, the foods I'm eating whilst I'm on the 1450 calories. So at the moment, my lowest weight is 65.3. I am around 65.5 at the moment. I'll put up some progress pictures as I'm talking about my weight at the moment, but I am also due on my period soon, and I know around that time I'll be hovering around that for a good 7 to 10 days, and sometimes it'll probably go up, and it has. So I was 65.3 last week and now I'm 65.5. So just a very, very small fluctuation on the scales. I can feel a difference. I feel still pretty slim around my stomach. That is where I am dropping body fat pretty fast around that area. And you'll also find that when you start a diet, you tend to feel a lot better around your stomach. But for me, I tend to lose it around my waist quite fast and my legs as well. The plan is to not lose any muscle off my legs because I am very tall and it has taken a while to actually build muscle around there. I do hold a lot of fat actually around my hips and also on my glutes. Now, I've never actually had very big glutes. I've worked very, very hard for my glute development. So I know that there is a good amount of muscle there, but from my progress pictures over the years, it's also very obvious that I do hold some fat there as well. That is where I'm at the moment in terms of my weight and my progress pictures. It's all feeling good. I'm noticing a difference all over. I can't say I'm seeing a huge difference. So I definitely know over the next 2 and a bit weeks leading up to my holiday, I'm going to push a little bit deeper onto this calorie deficit and really hope that I can see a bit more of a difference around my arms and my lower tummy area. So like I said, I am seeing a difference, but I think that kilo or 1 to 2 kilo drop more, whether I'll achieve that by June, I'm not too sure. But I know I'll start to really see a difference when I do go, when I do start to drop below that 65 kilo mark. Today, I'm gonna show you the meals I eat. Now, I've already had breakfast because I went to the gym, took my progress pictures, and then I had some work that I had to knuckle down with. So I've had breakfast and I've also had a coffee as well. So I'm going to show you on the screen here, and I'm going to get up on my FitnessPal. It'll be so much easier to talk through this. Breakfast today is, I started my morning with a black coffee before going to the gym. It's normal routine for me. I like to stick with it. It makes me feel good. It's just a nice thing that I have whilst I get ready. And when I got back, I had a coffee with oat milk in it. So I've been having that every single morning at the moment. I only have one of those a day, and I have a no sugar oat milk. Now, actually, what I'll do is I'll go through this with you. I'm going to show you. So, we're not trying to cook anything right now. So this is the oat milk I'm using. I use no sugar one just to allow myself to be able to have it, fit in my calories still, and it's low calorie option. And then I had a bowl of yogurt, which I'll show on the screen, but I use Total Fire. I love this stuff. It's low fat, low carb, high in protein, and I pretty much live off yogurt. And I also put in a Kvarg yogurt as well, I had a raspberry one. And I put in some blueberries as well. Using any berries in your diet, super low calorie, adds flavor, so I always chuck that in my yogurts. It just makes my meals a lot bigger. My calories for breakfast were 239. Protein was 27.5 grams. Carbs were 24.9, and that would have been the oat milk and the blueberries, and I would have got some from the yogurt as well. And fat was 2.8, so fats are pretty low. So that's breakfast. And my workout routine was upper body, and I started off with 15 minutes on the treadmill to get warmed up, helps me get my steps in. And then I went straight into a workout routine, which I'll show some clips of it now, very briefly, just so you can see what I did. So that was my morning. And that is not very helpful. I am now basically gonna crack on with my day, which is mainly desk work. And also I'm going to visit a gym because I am going to be doing some client photo shoots later on this year, and I'm going to be doing it in a different place, and I'm pretty excited to go and take a look at it just to see what it's like. And I've also got a photographer ready to do the client shoots as well. So I work with the same photographer I had with my photo shoot last year, and I also did a couple client shoots last year. This time I've got more clients who want to do shoots, and it's something that I'm hoping I will bring it into 2026 and introduce some more group shoots, which yeah, I'm really excited about. And also, actually, on the topic of photo shoots, I have actually got one in June, which I keep forgetting about, so I have to actually knuckle down on this diet, which I am. It's all going very, very smoothly. But I keep forgetting about it. I've got to keep that in mind. I think there's just so much going on. I tend to, I don't know, switch off with the goals that I have currently going on for myself, and I'm just so focused on everything else around me. And I'm sure you feel the same. It's just so easy to get carried away with life and forget that you are trying to work on something for yourself. So I have got a photo shoot in June. It's actually it's after my birthday, it's after Lisbon. So I do have to be pretty on it when I go on holiday and around my birthday, because it's also my dad's birthday, it's also Father's Day. We will have a lot of celebrations going on, and I'm sure I have maybe the photo shoot the week after or 2 weeks later. So I've got to, yeah. The earlier I crack on with it, the easier it will be to manage those social events. Now, I'm going to take you through what I have in my fridge and my cupboards and the foods that I stick to whilst on a diet, because I think that's one of the hardest things that people find, you know, how to actually work around the foods they need in their diet. And if you don't already know, I love food. I absolutely love every single type of food out there. Pizza, burgers, pasta, chocolate. I love alcohol, I love wine and gin. When it comes to alcohol, I have included some gin and tonics in this phase because I've had some social events, and I still like to enjoy a gin when I'm at home. So I do normally put it in on a Friday or a Saturday evening. In fact, I have got one tracked for tonight. So I do like to include it. Is it the best thing to be including when you are on a fat loss diet? Probably not. It's probably best to actually cut alcohol out in general whilst you are trying to focus on fat loss, and then you can introduce it again. Should you cut it out completely? Is it going to slow your progress down? I see it as if you track 1 or 2 glasses and you choose the low calorie option. So I tend to actually stay away from wine, mainly because it is a higher calorie alcohol, and I choose spirits instead, and I use a light tonic. So it makes it so much easier for me to be able to stay on track. And also, I don't really get carried away with gin. When I have wine, it's just a different, yeah, you know what, I just want the bottle, so it's a bit dangerous. I tend to stay away from it. So I just tend to stick to a gin. It's just so much easier. It's more refreshing. Well, no, wine's refreshing as well. Okay. Gin's the better option. But overall, it is best to probably cut out alcohol, or make sure that you plan ahead and actually put it in, because it can slow down your progress having it. And that goes with other foods that you perhaps can't control yourself around as much. I just wouldn't buy them and have them in the house. Alrighty, so this is my fridge. I'm not the most tidy fridge person. In fact, I think this is all right actually. Now, I have egg whites. I live off egg whites for to help increase my protein and to keep my fat low. So basically I get my fats from other sources, like it'll be fish, almonds, steak, things like that. So I don't tend to buy any eggs, only because I feel like I won't actually get through the eggs in time before they use by date. So I stick with egg whites, and that's what I make my scrambled eggs or my omelets with. I have some low-fat cheese. Always have low-fat cheese. And I've got all my sauces here. So I do tend to have light sauce options in the fridge, semi-skimmed milk and no sugar oat milk. At the top, got my yogurt, so I've been through all of this really. These are the important protein parts. I do actually have the yogurt and the egg whites pretty much every single week, like dieting or not dieting, they are part of my normal routine. And I have loads of veg, so I've got some mini cucumbers, tomatoes. This is rammed full of lots of veg. Now, when it comes to dieting for fat loss, honestly, what you do want to be including in your diet is a lot of vegetables and low calorie fruit, because you can have so much of them and it makes your plate look bigger. It makes your meal look bigger, and that's what you want. So yeah, I've got loads of mushrooms. They're so low calorie, and you can just chuck them in with absolutely anything. I find that the mornings I'm okay with. It's lunchtime I tend to eat, and I want to eat more after my meal. So by including a lot of vegetables, I tend to fill up more. So 0 calorie drinks. So I have a Dr. Pepper at the moment, and I've got some 7-Up, Diet Coke. I tend to switch it around each week. And this is like my go-to at the end of the day. It's like a treat for me. And I have this again, I have this all year round. I have one fizzy drink at the end of the day and I just enjoy it. The more lower calorie options you have, the fuller you're gonna be, the bigger your meals will look, and that's the aim. That's what you wanna be going for. When it comes to meat options, I tend to stick to lean meats and fish. So I have haddock salmon, fillet steak, 5% beef mince, chicken breast, turkey breast, chicken mince, turkey mince? Yeah, turkey mince. You get chicken mince as well. And when it comes to recipes, I like to get creative when I have time, but otherwise I stick to sort of similar meals. It just works for me, especially if I'm really busy and I don't want to think about it. Knowing that a spaghetti bolognese is quick and easy to whip up, I know exactly what's in it and it supports my macros and the current calories that I'm on, that it's just quick and that's what I tend to stick to. But normally if I do have a bit of time, I will spend maybe a Friday night or Saturday night cooking something slightly different, and it just makes it a little bit more exciting. I don't really have any protein shakes or any protein bars in my diet, mainly because I get a really bad acid reflux from them, and I've had a really bad experience with it, so I don't. Otherwise, I think it's a really good option to have if you struggle to get your protein in. So that's why I do live off egg whites, Greek yogurt, and meat and fish. My protein goal at the moment is around 140 grams a day, and I literally do get that from all the sources I just went through. It's just about having more of it, just dollop it in on your meals. So when it does come to fat loss, I am always weighing everything. They are really important, so make sure you have some scales, because you should be weighing your food just so you can monitor how much you're having. And what I do as well is make sure that I am putting everything into MyFitnessPal the night before, because if I don't, I won't get it done. Or what I do normally do is, if I'm up in the morning and I'm going to do some treadmill steps, I will get the whole day planned. If I don't do that, the whole day is just so busy that I won't actually input anything. So I would definitely recommend, I know it can feel like such a hassle, but if you are using similar foods, you can just copy and paste it. So it's all there, it's ready for you to just follow and have some sort of structure to your day. If you are trying to add in different foods and get creative all the time, and you don't actually have those foods in MyFitnessPal, you don't have them in the house, like, just don't do it. I would just stick with what you have in the house and just put it in, track it so you've got a day planned, because otherwise you do end up going off track and then you just think, oh, I'll just leave it and I'll start again tomorrow, and you don't want that. Carbohydrate options, I have at the moment some breakfast muffins. I'm gonna be having that for lunch today. With some scrambled eggs, and I've got some sweet potato as well that I normally have. So all my carbohydrate options are mainly pasta, rice, sweet potato, new potatoes. I think that's it really, and lots of vegetables. That's what I tend to stick to. I've got a lime for my gin later on, important. And I can't stop snacking on these blueberries. They're trapped. Let me show you what I've got in my cupboard. Now, I can fully understand that this is most probably a very boring video for you already, and you probably don't care. Oh my gosh, this is gonna happen all the time, isn't it? Now, I'm not gonna show you my cupboard because, or maybe I'll show you my cupboard. It needs a tidy, so just bear with. This is the current state. it is in. That is where I keep all my jars, my tea bags, my nuts, my coconut stuff, blah, 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 my sauces. I use this for pastas, anything that I make with, I even use it on if I make a pizza as well. I always have packet rice. Jalapenos, which I've never ever bought jalapenos in my life, but I've really wanted flavor. And honestly, anything that is low calorie and adds a bit of flavor to meals, when you're dieting, have it, honestly. It just makes a huge difference. This weekend I'm actually going to have some noodles. So I'm going to use some noodles with, I've got a peanut. Oh gosh. So I'm gonna have some noodles this weekend with some chicken satay sauce and some chicken breast, and I'll cut up some veggies with that. So I'm really looking forward to that because I haven't had noodles in a long time. Tacos, I actually went through a phase last week of having tacos almost every single day. Honestly, you don't need to do that every single day, but I love tacos, they're really good. I've got Kit Kats and I've got a Options hot chocolate as well. And I would normally track them for the evening when I do feel a bit peckish. But those are the carbohydrates and bits that I normally tend to use to add in with my meals. Right, scrambled eggs for lunch, and I'm gonna be making it with just egg whites. And I've got some Philadelphia to go on my breakfast muffins, which are from Lidl. And then I've got loads of vegetables that I'm just gonna put on the side because it's just filling and adds more flavor. So I always have some carbohydrates around the middle of the day because the chances are I'm gonna want those carbohydrates. I'm gonna need that energy compared to in the evening. So I still have carbs in the evening. I spread them out pretty evenly for all my meals. And I do that for all carbs, fats and protein. I spread it out pretty evenly in my meals. And that's become a habit over time because I've just tracked a lot, and that's helped me be able to gauge how much I can have with my meals, what types of food to have with my meals to be able to spread out my calories and carbohydrates. I actually think I need to bump up my protein a bit more today. I need to double check that. So all I'm gonna do is go with 150 grams of egg whites. Unfortunately, I can't do a front view to show you it from the front, you know, like a proper chef style cooking. So you're gonna have to just deal with it, seeing me from the side. Fry light. So 1 calorie spray option. Honestly, it just, again, saves calories, so you're not having to use oil all the time. And if you are using oil, just make sure you track it. It racks up the calories in your meals. So I always stick to Fry Light. Don't get me wrong, I love oil. Nice olive oil, so I do have it in the house, but whilst I'm focusing on fat loss, I use the 1 calorie spray. I'm using a light Philadelphia, which I'll weigh out how much I'm putting on my muffins. So I've got 30 grams of Philadelphia. And you also want to make salt and pepper your best friend. They are okay to have. Again, it adds flavor. And if there's one thing you want to know about me and my personality is I really like simple things. I just want things to be so simple in life. So if I ever come across pretty simple then that's why. I don't know if I do or not, but I try and make things as simple as possible for myself and for other people that I work with. That's the important thing. That is what I have made. As I have a few calories left that I need to use for the day, I'm going to be using this vinaigrette dressing, which is a light dressing, and it's 15 calories per 30 mils. So I'm gonna put that on my veg because otherwise, I mean, I could just eat the veg like that, but it's nice to have a little bit of flavor. For the lunch today, scrambled eggs, Philadelphia muffin, and some veggies. So altogether, that has come to 380 calories for lunch. I'm gonna enjoy that, and I'm gonna get back to work, and then I'll be back later to show you my dinner and snacks. So that is my yogurt bowl with some blueberries that I'm going to have now. I would normally have some honey on this, but I decided to have dressing on my veg at lunch, which I didn't actually like that dressing. I've never had it before. I don't normally have vinaigrette dressing. I just saw it in Aldi when I went the other day and thought I'd get it as something different, and I didn't really enjoy it, but I'm sure I'll make my way through it. As you can tell, I had yogurt this morning. I'm now having yogurt again. You don't have to do that. It's just my way of getting my protein in. I don't mind it. It works for me. And I put in a protein snack now to keep me feeling full up until dinner. So dinner is pretty much my last meal with a gin and tonic today. So that's all I've got left. But if I have something that's high protein before dinner, and at this time, it will keep me feeling full all the way through till dinner time. But no, you don't have to have Greek yogurt all the time. You can have protein shakes, you could have a protein bar. You can also just have a normal cereal bar, rice cakes or whatever, and you may put your protein somewhere else. It depends what routine works best for you. I plan it around, and I would recommend planning it around when you find you normally get hungry. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy this and I will catch you later. Oh, we made it. We made it to almost 8 o'clock. Where did the last 4 hours go? Like since I had my yogurt bowl, I have no idea. So I've just been stuck at the desk and I just found that my eyes were just starting to feel so tired. And this is a symptom that I get when it's leading up to my period. I honestly get the worst like headache behind my eyes and my eyes feel so hard to focus. So I just pushed as much as I could up until it was about 6:30, and then I went for a walk and I just got back and I've got dinner on the go. I've got Radio Heart on Alexa, and I just thought I would film this outside because it's a nice evening and I've done most of my filming in my kitchen, which I'm sure has been very boring for you to watch. Food wise, I have got some lean pork medallions and some sweet potato wedges, some vegetables. When I say vegetables, I'm having some frozen veg because I cannot be asked to cook any or boil any veg and do any peppers or things like that because I've been living off that for most of this week really. So I'm just going for some frozen veg, peas, sweet corn, and I've got some mayonnaise on the side, and I've got my gin and tonic. So I'm gonna finish cooking this and I'm gonna show you and go through the calories, and that will be pretty much it for the day. We have made dinner. Cheers, it's Friday and I'm just putting a bit of music on, having my dinner because I am hitting a real low. I'm tired. Yeah, it's just hyping me up. But what I'll probably do is put the TV on and chill for the rest of the night. So I've made dinner. Alexa, turn it down. Alexa, turn it down to level 1. So I have made, I can't focus with it on actually. Alexa, turn it off. So, pork medallions with some barbecue sauce, sweet potato wedges, some mayo and frozen veg. I literally fill my plate up with veg. It just keeps me full. Anything to make it look like I've got loads on my plate. And then I've got my gin and my dirty pan there. Let's move out there. My rhubarb and ginger gin and my dinner. And it's not a bad meal. Normally on a Friday night I would make it a little bit more exciting than just some pork steaks, but I like sweet potato wedges and I managed to get some barbecue sauce on and some mayonnaise. So altogether that's 570 calories. That's 43 grams of carbohydrates, that's 12 grams of fat, and that's about 56 grams of protein because the pork loin medallions are quite high in protein. So I am going to enjoy that. And the rhubarb and ginger gin, 82 calories I've got in for that gin. And yeah, in total, my calories for the day has been 1450, and I've managed to track things pretty evenly actually. But that's my day. That is what a day looks like at the moment with 1450 calories with my meals and my workout, and my total steps for the day are almost 16,000. That's actually a lot for me. I don't normally aim for that. In the week, I am lucky to get more than 10,000. That's, you know, that's okay. It's increased my activity output by a little bit, and I probably won't get as much at the weekend on one of the days. That's, you know, that's how it balances out really. So I'm going to enjoy this. I hope that was all okay. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will update you again as the weeks go on with how my weight loss is going and how things have changed, how I'm looking and what my weight is like. And hopefully following my journey will give you some inspiration and some understanding on how you can do it for yourself as well. But yeah, any questions, pop me a comment below, or drop me a message on Instagram, whatever you fancy, or don't. Just watch, and I hope you enjoy it. And I'll see you in my next one.